Hello everyone, welcome to TTV News with some latest events in the province. So now we came into details. Ladies and gentlemen, implementing the official dispatch of the Ministry of Health on strengthening the COVID-19 prevention and control, the Provincial People's Committee requested provincial departments, agencies, and people's committees of districts, town, and city to well realize the contents of epidemic prevention and control.
Accordingly, the Provincial People's Committee proposed personal sectors to proactively carry out a number of tasks, including monitoring the epidemic situation in the area, to prepare to respond to the epidemic, reviewing vaccination data, organizing assessment of epidemic level, and for the purpose of timely application of epidemic prevention and control measures in accordance with the actual situation and effectiveness. Measures to prevent and control the epidemic need to be strengthened at educational institutions. Supervision must not be neglected at boundaries, in health facilities, and in the community. Furthermore, functional sectors in the province also need to closely coordinate with units of the Ministry of Health to proactively detect new variants early. The health sector should organize well the collection, emergency, care, and treatment of infected cases, especially for high-risk groups such as pregnant women, people with underlying diseases, and the elderly to minimize the number of deaths. In addition, a number of issues must be strictly implemented, such as control infection, efforts not to cross-contamination in treatment facilities, repair treatment and treatment plans, as well as actually improve treatment capacity. Following the direction of the Provincial People's Committee, the Department of Planning and Investment has deployed to remove difficulties for the transport of post-harvest agricultural products to the province. Accordingly, the Department of Planning and Investment shall notify and instruct for cooperative business households and individuals to carry out procedures for offshore investment registration in accordance with the investment law and other relevant documents. The cooperative business households and individuals with Vietnamese nationality who have demand to transport post-harvest agricultural products to the province in the case of carrying out procedures for offshore investment registration. Excepting for offshore investment projects under the authority to approve investment policies of the National Assembly and the Prime Minister as prescribed in Article 56 of the Law on Investment 2020, the application for the certificate of our investment registration is with cooperatives, business households, and individuals transporting post-harvest agricultural products from Cambodia to Vietnam, according to the provisions of Article 61 of the Investment Law 2020. Within 15 days from the day on which the prescribed dossier is received, the Ministry of Planning and Investment shall issue an offshore investment registration certificate. In case of refusal to issue an offshore investment registration certificate, it must notify the investor in writing and clearly state the reasons therefor. Investor referred to the provisions of the Investment Law 2020, Decree 31 in 2021, dated March 26, 2021, of the government. If there are problems, the investors please contact the Investment Corporation Department phone number 027638 27638.
Mr. Yu Van Thắng, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, had just promulgated the official dispatch number 741 on the implementations of procedures for registrations of offshore investment, specifically assigning responsibilities to TayNinhTV Departments of Industry and Trade. This move came right after receiving the official letter from the Ministry of Planning and Investment on removing difficulties for post-harvest delivery of agricultural products to TayNinhTV province.
TayNinhTV Department of Industry and Trade is tasked with notifying cooperatives, business households, and individuals of the registration for offshore investment according to the provisions of Law on Investment, Decree 31 of the government, to facilitate the implementation of referential policies. The Department of Planning and Investment is responsible for guiding the board subjects to carry out the procedures for offshore investment registration in accordance with the government's law on investment and relevant documents. In addition, the Department of Industry and Trade is also assigned to assume the right responsibility for and coordinate with relevant units in advising the Provincial Appeals Committee on a written request for the Ministry of Finance opinion on the tax exemption and reduction for those who have made short-term seasonal investments in Cambodia, have not yet carried out the procedures for registering overseas investment as prescribed. On April 14, Yum Châu District Economic and Infrastructure Division coordinated with the Town Appeals Committee to hold a conference to announce the 1/500 detailed construction planning of the new development residential area project in the north of the park, in the center of Yum Châu Town. The above planning project covers an area of more than 134 square meters. Its major functions include new residential areas, commercial and service works, cultural houses for community activities, medical stations, kindergartens, park system, landscape trees, etc., parking lots and technical infrastructure. This is considered a premise to build Yum Châu Town into a great for urban area in the near future. The locality is continuing to coordinate with organizations and units concerned to propagate and disseminate the content of the planning project to the people, coordinate with agencies and units to well perform the functions and tasks of state management of planning in compliance with order and law, especially in the work of site clearance, creating consent and support of the people. In the morning of April 15, the Youth Union branches directly under the agencies and enterprises block of TayNinhTV province, in collaboration with the branch of the Provincial Youth Union, TayNinhTV Radio and Television Youth Union, and Bến Cầu District Youth Union, organized the program Today Scholarship Support for Tomorrow. The program chaired by the Youth Union branch of the Provincial Department of Transport gave 30 gifts, including a scholarship worth 500,000 Vietnam dong and learning tools, confectionery, toys for kids to disadvantaged students of Tiên Thuận B Primary School. The program has a total cost of 30 million Vietnam dong donated by units and the Club of Japan alumni.
Ladies and gentlemen, the festival of lowering the New Year born at Padang Mountain in 2023 is officially taking place between April 13 and the end of May 1st, with many special activities. This is considered as one of the festival activities that promises to attract a large number of visitors during the upcoming holidays of April 30 and May 1st.
To prepare for this festival, Padang Mountain National Tourist Area has invested and renovated many beautifully decorated natural landscape works, providing visitors with impressive trekking locations. Along with that, coming to Padang Mountain National Tourist Area during the opening festival, visitors also have the opportunity to admire the traditional dance of Khmer people in traditional costume, brilliant colors, besides the skillful dancers typical of Chasam drum dance and art form recognized as the National Intangible Cultural Heritage of TayNinhTV province also make visitors unable to take their eyes off. Visitors will also enjoy the performances of the Python Orchestra and will give visitors a space to experience Khmer culture extremely unique amidst the complex of international class spiritual architectural works. Up to this point, the focus areas of Lago Samat National Park have been stably protected. The Management Board of National Park said that forest fire prevention plans will continue to be closely implemented until the rainy season. Logosamat National Park manages nearly 30,000 hectares of forest, in which the national forest area has many grasslands that are prone to fires at the peak of the dry season. The planted forest area has many places interspersed with natural forests, so it is also prone to spread fire. There have been a number of fires caused by people burning dry grassland, but they were promptly detected and handled to prevent the fire from spreading into the forest. Therefore, up to now, the forest areas are still protected safely. The Management Board of National Park said that since the beginning of April until now, there have been sporadic rains at sometimes, but the risk of forest fire is still quite high because the weather at this time is still facing a heat wave. Grassland and thick rice forest leaves are easy to catch fire if an accident occurs. Forest protection posts are still closely monitoring developments, in addition to regularly patrolling and controlling, propagating and reminding people. The Management Board has also coordinated with relevant units to sweep and handle individuals who violate forest protection regulations. At the same time, the management also handles vegetation burn and actively created wide ways to prevent fire, avoiding the possibility of fire spreading from the fields to the forest.
The audience leaders, Khmer people in TayNinhTV province, are eager to welcome the traditional TayNinhTV Festival 2023 in Kaot Hamlet, Tân Đông Khmer, Tân Châu districts, where there are about 200 households with nearly 800 people are the Khmer people. They are even more delighted to welcome the new year in the cafe of the party and stay.
This is a picture of the own house of Miss Tihom, 86 years old Khmer woman living in Kaot Hamlet, Tân Đông Khmer, Tân Châu district. She lives alone because her children have gone out to live on their own. Her own house was dilapidated, unable to shelter from the sun and rain, and it was not safe. Last November, she was supported by the province with funding to build a red solidarity house from the fund for the poor of the province. Returning to Kaot this time on the occasion of the Khmer people preparing to welcome the traditional TayNinhTV Festival of the Khmer people, we visited the house of Miss Tihom. She couldn't hide her happiness. The new house was completed in time for her to celebrate the TayNinhTV traditional New Year. To this day, she also celebrates the New Year of her ethnic people. I'm glad I now have a home. Now there is no more leaking house. I feel very happy and feel healthy. The atmosphere of TayNinhTV New Year seems to have reached the whole village. It made the conversation even livelier. I would like to express my sincere thanks to all levels who have supported me. In the past, most of the households here were poor, but thanks to the poverty reduction work, the number of poor households has also gradually decreased. Now there are only 2 near-poor households. Not only Miss Tihom's family, but also many other families in Kaot Hamlet have received a lot of attention from sectors and levels in the province. They are provided with capital to have jobs, develop production, raise livestock, and improve the living standards of their families. In addition, the people here are supported with funds to build a house of great solidarity and have a stable place to live. Moreover, they are always provided with favorable conditions for cultural and religious activities on their campuses. Those are the good things that the people of Kaot Hamlet in particular, the Khmer people across the province in general, have been enjoying.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thanks for being with us and goodbye for now.